All right, I got a call last night about this company, Delmar Energy Inc. Someone asked, "Is this company legit? Are they a scam?" And I quickly, Googled the company, and sure enough, I found a bunch of information online about them. Found their website, good looking website. But yeah, definitely for sure a scam. Also found a Reddit article is that also where a lot of people were asking about this company. And again, definitely for sure scam. I'm not the only one that thought that. Supposedly, the company gives you 1% a 1% return per day, which is a crazy number. And so for me, that's what just kind of gave it away, right? And so I wanted to quickly explain how you can see this for yourself, right? So this is the treasury.gov website. The U.S. Treasury interest rate is what's called the risk-free rate, right? Because it's the U.S. government, and so it, as far as an investment goes, it's a risk-free investment because it's always going to pay. There's no fear of it not paying out. Okay, and so when we talk about risk, when we talk about the possibility of losing money, right? We're talking about the risk-free rate. Okay, so as you can see, and you can go back, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever you need to do, and you can find like the largest number here, and we can call that the risk-free rate. Okay, and so what this simply says is that I can give the U.S. government money, and I can earn 5.06% interest per year on that money, and that is risk-free. Okay, now for any investment, in order for you to put money into it, no matter what it has to give you better than 5% interest a year. If it doesn't, then there's no point in putting your money into it. You might as well just buy U.S. Treasury bonds, right? And so anyway, that's what the risk-free rate is. Now, for every percent above this risk-free rate, that is how much risk you're taking on for that investment. So if it's 6% return a year, that's going to be a very safe investment. 7%, fairly safe investment. 8% is starting to get a little fuzzy. 9%, 10%. You're talking about something that's pretty risky, right? Like there's risk of you actually losing your investment. And so, of course, anything 11, 12, 13, 14, 15% on, again, you're just taking on more risk, right? And so, when you're talking about, again, something like 15% a year, that's very risky. Matter of fact, there are laws on the books concerning, how much interest a company can charge you, right? And that is also tied to the risk-free rate as well. Currently, I think it's somewhere around maybe 23%, something like that. There may be some pluses or minuses somewhere. So anyway, so I even went on to YouTube and found some videos on YouTube concerning this, and they have some fairly decent numbers as far as views go. But again, this is a complete scam. It is an elaborate scam, but it is for sure a scam. Um, Anytime you have a website and supposedly the company is an oil and gas company, or they do this green energy or whatever, if that's the case, then why is the entire website devoted to um, investing, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Um, but beyond that, again, the rate of return is just crazy. Now, the issue becomes I understand why people get confused because someone tells you, hey, this is going to give you 1% per day, right? And 1% doesn't sound like a lot. And so the question becomes, well, how do you know whether or not 1% is a lot or a little? Well, you have to do a little bit of math, okay? The math is fairly straightforward. It does require a calculator. I'm going to show you how to do that just using Google. All right. And again, this was just going through Google, um, looking for Delmar Energy. And again, you see a lot of links and sites and stuff like that. I went and looked at the address here on the Dun and Bradstreet website. Googled it on Google Maps, and sure enough, it was a complete farce. It's just a empty lot. I think there was a home or something being built on one of the lots, but at the actual address, there was nothing. This Reuters article looked really legit until you realize that there's absolutely nothing in there concerning the company. It's just like some kind of, I don't know, it's a page, but it's nothing, right? And again, very elaborate scheme, but a scheme and a scam nonetheless. Um, and you can see people have been Googling this, right? I mean, is Delmar Energy Inc. legit? Delmar Energy Inc. stock? Delmar Energy login? I mean, people have been really checking this thing out. So let me show you quickly how to um, do this math. This might be difficult to see, but if you just pull up any Google, matter of fact, let me do that. Yeah, you just pull up a Google page, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to take the rate of return. Okay, so at this point we know that it's 1%. Okay, and we're going to add one to it. So we're going to do 1.01. Okay, for 1%. All right. And then now the company says that you have to put the money in and leave it for 245 days before you can take any money out. That is another good indication that this is a complete scam and scheme, because that's the way Ponzi schemes work, right? Where the first person that puts the money in, because they can't take it out for 245 days, that means that they have money to dole out to people who put their money in earlier. So with Ponzi schemes, people can make money because if you are the first to take your money out, then you've made money, but it's not an investment. You're just taking the money that the person before you put in, right? But at some point, what will happen is that more people will ask for their money back than what the company has, and then no one gets anything. That's exactly what a Ponzi scheme is. All right. And so you're going to take that and then you're going to use this little arrow here to the power of 245 days. Okay. And that's going to give you your annual return. But then you have to subtract all of that. So I'm going to put these little parentheses here and subtract that from by one. And then you're going to multiply times 100. Okay. That's how you do the math to figure out what the annual rate of return is for a 1% per day investment. And as we can see here, the return is 1,045% per year. And if we look at that relative to the risk-free rate, the risk on this thing is strong, astronomical, right? So it's not possible. It can't be done. It's an obvious scam. I don't know what's going to happen with these guys. I can't get anyone um, to uh, to get in contact with me from the company. So if you're seeing this and you have any questions whether or not this thing is a scam, it is definitely for sure a scam, no question about it. From me to you.